Power looks unbreakable until one choice becomes a headline and everything changes. From crowns to courtrooms, athletic gods to global financiers. These are 10 infidelities that toppled reputations, reshaped institutions, and left the world watching. Stay until the end for the moral none of them wanted you to learn. Number 1. In 1936, Edward, Prince of Wales, heir to the British throne, faced a private choice that turned into a public catastrophe. He fell for Wallis Simpson, an American twice-divorced woman. That love wasn't a mere headline. For the monarchy, it was a constitutional crisis. The church, parliament, and the public demanded a king who fit a role. Edward chose the woman instead of the role. On December 11th, 1936, he signed the instrument of abdication and walked away from crown. The world watched not a scandal, but a seismic reshaping of duty and desire. A man's love remade a nation's succession. 2. Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. Impeached, the dress that broke a presidency. The White House is a stage of rituals, protocol, transparency, and a myth of control. In the 1990s, that stage became a courtroom. Monica Lewinsky, a young White House intern, and President Bill Clinton had a relationship that the public never should have been forced to adjudicate. When evidence, painfully symbolized by a stained dress, moved from private to evidentiary, Congress opened impeachment hearings for perjury and obstruction. The country split into teams: personal privacy versus public accountability. The president survived removal by the Senate, but the political and cultural aftershocks, a media era where private life is public currency, lasted generations. 3. Dominique Strauss-Kahn, IMF icon broken. Dominique Strauss-Kahn ran the IMF and was a leading contender for the French presidency, a man whose influence threaded through global finance. In May 2011, a New York hotel maid's accusation changed everything. He was arrested at JFK Airport. Overnight, a private allegation became a geopolitical shakeup. Courts, politics, and media converged. Criminal charges were later contested and some dismissed, but the damage to DSK's public life was irreparable. The episode forced a global conversation about power, accountability, and how fast a life built on reputation can dissolve under accusation. 4. Tiger Woods. The fall, Tiger's secret life. Tiger Woods was not just a champion. He was a brand, a global icon whose endorsement contracts made him untouchable. Then on November 27, 2009, a car crashed outside his home and everything changed. The wreck was the opening note. Soon, dozens of alleged relationships leaked out. Sponsors stepped back, and a cultivated image that sold millions unraveled in public. Tiger's scandal is a study in how celebrity and commerce entwine. Private indiscretions hit balance sheets, and the court of public opinion can cost endorsements faster than courts can adjudicate guilt. 5. JFK and Marilyn Monroe. The secret singer and the president. In 1962, Marilyn Monroe gave America a breathy, infamous performance at Madison Square Garden. Happy birthday, Mr. President. From that single, electric moment came decades of rumor. Did JFK and Marilyn have an affair? Did power meet desire in the shadows of the Oval Office? We may never know the full truth, but the collision of celebrity and political mystique birthed a cultural story that outlived both participants. A myth in which intimacy, scandal, and speculation fused into a narrative that colored public memory of an era. 6. Prince Charles and Camilla. Royal tapes, the scandal they try to hide. Royal protocol depends on public confidence and private restraint. When intimate phone transcripts of Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles leaked in the early 1990s, that restraint evaporated. The Camilla Gate tapes fed a tabloid firestorm, deepened the rift with Diana, and fed a decade of royal scrutiny. This was a scandal of access and betrayal, where a recording, once private, became proof that even royal hearts keep secrets that can realign public sentiment and dynastic narratives. 7. Francois Mitterrand and Impingiet. Caption: Secret at the Elysee. François Mitterrand governed France for 14 years while keeping a private world behind Élysée curtains. A long relationship with and Pingiot and a daughter, Mazarine, raised out of public view. When a story surfaced in 1994, it did not lead to legal ruin, but it pierced public imagination and judicial curiosity. A president's compartmentalized life had produced an entire parallel household. The scandal forced the nation to question whether public office requires private transparency and reminded voters that leaders' choices ripple far beyond their bedrooms. 8. Eliot Spitzer and Ashley Dupre. Crusader down. Eliot Spitzer built his image on prosecuting corrupt power. The irony stung when federal wiretaps exposed him as a client of an escort service. The transcript and payment trails turned the prosecutor into the defendant in public opinion. Within weeks, he'd resigned as governor of New York. The case is a narrow, brutal parable about moral authority and vulnerability. Technology recorded what secrecy tried to hide, and instant media amplified a fault that once might have been local and private. 9. John Edwards and Rielle Hunter. Secret child, secret lies. John Edwards pitched himself as a champion for working families. His private life told a different story. The affair with filmmaker Rielle Hunter and the child they had was hidden through denials and allegedly concealed with campaign funds. When the truth surfaced, his political career and his moral authority collapsed. The scandal illustrates how deception corrodes not just reputations, but policy narratives and the very promises that elected leaders sell to the public. 10. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mildred Baena. The Secret Son. Arnold Schwarzenegger built an American epic, immigrant to superstar to governor. But in 2011, a family secret pierced that story. A son fathered with a longtime housekeeper, Mildred Baena, revealed years after the child's birth. The revelation fractured a marriage and forced the actor-politician to confront how power and proximity can hide truths that later demand public reckoning. It's a modern morality tale. Promises kept or broken within a home reverberate when fame magnifies the fallout. 10 scandals, 10 scenes of power meeting secrecy, and a repeating truth. Concealment compounds pain. Whether a throne or a Twitter feed, institutions break when private choices contradict public responsibilities. These stories are not mere gossip. They teach that transparency, humility, and respect cost less than the long, expensive bargain of concealment. That's the moral none of them could afford to forget. Please like this video and subscribe for more hot topics like this one. Thanks.